it's Mark Bossert here with the Pawlik Automotive Podcast. I'm the producer of our casts, our videos, our stuff. We do the websites. We do all kinds of stuff, and we're here with Mr. Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver. How are you this morning, Bernie?
I'm doing very well.
So, kind of got lost there for a minute, and we're going to talk about a 2002 Audi A6. What was going on with this fine German automobile?
So this vehicle came to our shop. The owner was complaining of a loss of coolant, not huge, but over time it was leaking coolant. So that was the client's complaint, coolant loss.
And what test did you do to find a loss of coolant?
Well, there's a couple ways we can test the cooling system. The way we generally, well, besides a visual inspection to verify a leak, which we can do under the car and on top, is a pressure test. What a pressure tester does, it actually puts the cooling system under pressure, much like same as what occurs when your engine actually warms up. But the way a car cooling system works is it's a pressurized system. So as there's a sealed cap which will blow off if the pressure exceeds a certain amount. Usually it's about 16 pounds per square inch PSI. Some engines are a bit lower, some are a bit higher, but that's sort of the average. And so the pressure tester basically puts the engine, we can put it under that level of pressure, and that'll force coolant out of the system. The thing with a coolant leak is, again, when the engine's cold, there's no pressure, so there may not be a leak. Sometimes there is a leak when there's no pressure, and then when it pressurizes, there's a leak. It's kind of odd the way cars work, but generally speaking, the more pressure you have, the easier the leak will occur. So we pressurize the system and then look for leaks. Now, sometimes it'll take a matter of seconds if it's a large leak. Other times we've had vehicles where we pressurize it. An hour later we look, can't see a leak. Leave the pressure tester on. Next morning we come into the shop and there's like drips on the floor and go, that's where it is. So sometimes it's quick, sometimes it takes a while. And there is one other test we do, and that is for combustion gas leakage. If we suspect a cylinder head problem, but that wasn't the case in this vehicle. So the only testing we did on this was a pressure test.
And what did you find?
What we found was there was a leak under the intake manifold around the back of the engine, which required further disassembly. But what we did eventually find is the auxiliary water pump, which is located underneath the intake manifold, was leaking, and that was the major cause of our leak. With Audis is there's so many hidden bits and pieces. This is true of a lot of Japanese, a lot of cars nowadays. There's coolant pipes that run in various spots that are hidden under the intake manifold, under covers. There's a lot that often needs to be removed just to find a leak, but that's what we found on this car. Auxiliary water pump was leaking.
And what was involved with repairing these components?
Well, a lot of disassembly. It's a lot of work. And the other thing we did was replace the heater hoses as well. So let's just get into a picture, a bit of a picture show here.
And go to the pictures.
Yes, the pictures. Okay, so this is what you would, if you open the hood of this Audi A6, it's a V6 bi-turbo engine, which right away tells you there's a lot of stuff under the hood. There are two turbochargers hidden, one on each side, buried way down, almost impossible to see. But this is basically the engine cover, the air intake pipe on the top, covers over the battery, plastic covers around there's a lot of covers. Once removed, this is what we found once we removed the covers, the intake manifold, and that's the auxiliary water pump. This is located, brilliantly right in the very hottest area one of the hottest areas of the engine underneath the intake manifold. But obviously not a bad spot because the car's a 2002 and it's 2018 right now. So that's a good 16 years of use, and it's just started to leak. So it possibly could be a better spot, but that's why it's there. So the other item I mentioned we replaced were the heater hoses, and I'll show you a picture in a minute. But the heater hoses run from this area here. They run beside the battery, underneath the firewall here, through a tube, and they terminate somewhere way under here that you can't even see. Again, just for perspective, this is with the cover on. This is with everything removed. So you can see there's a lot that's changed. Now, heater hoses. So the heater hoses were not leaking, but we did this as a maintenance item. While we were working on the vehicle, we noted that the heater hoses were quite swollen. And if you look, this is a brand new hose here, and this is the old hose here. Just take a minute to look at it. You can see that where this clamp goes, how the rubber is much larger here. It's much larger in diameter here. By the way, that cut was just done for removal purposes. But you can see the whole hose itself it's quite a lot larger. Wasn't leaking, but when a hose gets like this, the rubbers deteriorate really badly, and it's only a matter of time before it blows. And
it looks like a good bratwurst.
It does, exactly. Very, very good. And so anyhow, that's so that's our hose. Again, this is basically done as a preventative maintenance. I mean, it definitely extra labor to do it, but while we had the intake manifold off, made a lot of sense because it saved the client quite a few hours of labor, hence money.
So these are complex vehicles. Audis, we've talked a lot about Audis, and they always are complex. So that means it's expensive and somewhat complicated to repair. Is it still worth it at this age?
I think so. I mean, it largely depends on how the vehicle's maintained and who the owner is and how you take care of it. We've serviced this vehicle for quite a few years now, and previously whoever was all the service they did on it was pretty up to date. So when you keep a vehicle in good shape, it's just a matter of repairing the items as you go. Yes, they are expensive to repair. It's also an expensive car to replace. This particular model, with the A6 with the 2.7 turbos, was not a cheap model in its day. So, again, calculating the cost of repairs. If you look at it over a period of a year and you think, well, say I spent $5,000 in a year, most people think, oh, that's a lot of money. But you think like a lease payment on a car like this, probably $1,000 a month. That puts you about $12,000 a year. Yes, you do have the benefit of a brand new car, but for about a third of the price, you can maintain an old one and take care of it. It's good. I think it's a good way to go. Either way with a car, it's money out the door, whether you're making monthly payments, whether you're saving money and you buy the car cash, or whether you're repairing it and maintaining it. It's money out the door. You just got to look and to see how much it is.
So that's one way to amortize or look at your car repair costs then, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had, interestingly, conversations with people where they, the car's worth $4,000. I don't want to spend $2,000 on it because that's half the value. I'm thinking, what does that have to do with it? It's really about looking at how much money is actually going out the door. Because no matter what you do, the money's going to have to go out the door. If you keep it in good shape and take care of it, it'll be better overall. I think it's important to just kind of calculate your overall costs. And of course, if you buy a new car, which is fantastic, to have the insurance costs are higher on a newer car than an older one. So I don't know. It's just a matter of just crunching the numbers, looking at it, see if it works. And of course, if your car's in the shop every month for a breakdown, well, that's not very good either. So there comes a time and place where, it's time to retire a car. But in the case of this Audi, it's the mileage is still fairly low. The owner takes pretty good care of it. And it's, they're able to part with it for a few days, every once in a while to do some maintenance and repairs.
So speaking of the Audi A6, how was it after the repairs?
Yeah, really awesome. I mean, no further coolant leaks, and again, with those heater hoses replaced, we prevented, a further unexpected repair because, we could have left those, but somewhere down the road, those hoses are going to burst and, it'll be driving down the highway or driving down the road somewhere where you're on your way to a meeting. And this is what we like to do at our shop, is find those kind of things and prevent them from happening. That's the whole key to preventative maintenance, is fixing it beforehand. And it's cheaper and less stressful.
So there you go. If you need service for your fine German automobile in Vancouver, the guys to see are Pawlik Automotive. You can reach them at 604-327-7112 to book your appointment. You have to call and book ahead because they're busy, or check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com. We have hundreds of videos on YouTube. Check us out there. Or thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And thank you, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark. And thanks for watching.